Hi, another film that I've been watching that I thought might jolly me up in this time of uncertainty and worry is a good old classic 3 hour Russian science fiction film. Um, Stalker is a film with a bit of a reputation. It's well known as one of the titans of Russian science fiction cinema, along with Andrei Tarkovsky's other major opus, Solaris. So I was interested to see it and uh, figure out for myself what I thought of it. And I was interesting because it was both exactly what I expected to be and disappointing. I was hoping that it was going to engage me emotionally or intellectually. I was hoping that it was going to carry me along for its near 3 hour runtime, but it was pretty much as I expected from seeing other Tarkovsky films, incredibly slow and boring. Um, it's adapted from a novel named Roadside Picnic, and is the story of sometime in the near future, an area of Russia has been quarantined and is known as the Zone, and it was subject to some kind of alien visitation. And that area is now littered with all kinds of strange spatial anomalies and time anomalies and various items that have been left behind by the alien forces that visited. And it's believed that there is at the centre of this zone a room where one's wishes can be granted. And it is the jobs of self-appointed stalkers to take visitors into the zone to the room so that they can have their wishes granted. And the story follows one particular stalker taking two men to this realm, and their very slow, gradual journey as they talk about philosophy, politics, phenomenology, and other thrilling subjects. It's a very beautiful looking film. Tarkovsky has a skill in finding surprising beauty in desolation. But the central thesis of the film is somewhat mysterious, and it numbs you. Tarkovsky described his directing technique as sculpting in time. That the idea that his films are so slow-paced and so gradual, that is part of the inherent process of filmmaking for him. And it annoys me that he's also said that, for example, there's a long sequence in Solaris where we're simply seeing the view of from the front of a car as it drives through streets in Tokyo as we lead up towards the main character leaving Earth. And it was supposedly there to weed out those who wouldn't have the patience for his work, but that seems unnecessarily elitist, given that Steven Soderbergh was able to do an equally artistic take on the same material in about half the time when he did his version of Solaris. So I found Stalker intriguing in concept, but very, very hard to endure in execution. I did have a stockpile of, I think, all of Tarkovsky's other films, as yet unwatched. I'd seen Mirror, which is his most autobiographical film, which I found almost intolerable and is barely 90 minutes. I did manage to get through Solaris, but having now watched 3 of his films, I am not in any way motivated to watch the other 5, and I have deleted them from my hard disk. So feel free to call me a Philistine, but I like Terrence Malick. Tarkovsky goes too far. He is an artist rather than a filmmaker, if you see what I mean about the distinction. But I could not in good conscience recommend this film to anyone who wants an interesting or engaging science fiction film. It's the kind of film that should be hung in a gallery. A very similar film from a much more energetic source would be the recent film Annihilation, directed by Alex Garland, based on Jeff Vandermeer's book, which owes a huge debt to Roadside Picnic. But, well, if the author's estate hasn't sued, then it's clearly fine, because I would recommend that over this forever.